there, Internet. It is I, Cat Bine, host of Cat Calls. Yeah, that's me. We're here. This is Cat Calls. You guys arrived. Thank you so much for coming today. I'm taking over Spin's channel. You guys know that because you typed it into your URL box and the logo's in the corner. But I do this show every Thursday on my own channel right there, twitch.tv/catbine. And of course, my guests today, they really beg no introduction, but I'm a professional, so I'm going to give them one anyway. Hailing from Toronto, but truly born in the depths of the 90s internet, we've got deadmau5. deadmau5 is here, yeah! He broke out in the late 2000s to become an instant leader of the new school of electronic dance music. I think he was like one of the first DJ to play the VMAs. I'm not sure he was actually playing. He just had his like helmet on and was like, anyway, okay. He could be the biggest computer geek in all of electronic dance music, which is really saying something. But I know firsthand because I traveled to Canada in 2019 to see him put the finishing touches on his famous Cube 3.0 production. And he coded it all himself. So if anyone can actually drag me for the low production quality of my Twitch stream, it's deadmau5. It's deadmau5. He's a huge live streamer himself, and we're gonna make sure we get all the details on his upcoming digital performances. And he was recently remixed by my other guest, an absolute legend, a founding father of UK house and techno, a famously bright smile, and an ecstatic presence in the booth. Oh yes, I'm talking about Carl Cox. Woo! He represents for Manchester by taking dance music culture all around the world, and he's been doing it for more than 30 years. It's honestly fucking nuts that I've got these two guys on my show today. I'm really excited, and I think that having them together is just going to be such an interesting conversation. Of course, what makes Cat Calls special is that it's interactive, it's live, and you guys are part of it. So I want you to be sure to drop your questions for deadmau5, Carl Cox, both of them, whatever, Meowingtons, whatever. If you've got questions, drop them in the chat. I'm going to make sure that we get to them. Before I bring them live onto the show, though, I want to play deadmau5's music video for his song Pomegranate, featuring the hip-hop production icons, the Neptunes. It's insane that he got them back together to do this track, and that's the song that Carl Cox remixed. So without further ado, I have a couple shout-outs to make. I want to shout out Philippe and Sebastian and Anita and Brandy and Joaquin and Liam, if you guys are watching, and all my friends, and a special happy birthday to my Uncle Frankie, because he's a fucking badass, and he deserves it. Go Dolphins. You guys watch this video. I love you.
It's been oh so long since we've been away from home. All the bugs, every last one go.
And we're back. Did you guys like the video? Sorry if it was a little laggy, but don't worry. The main event is here. Oh, look, everybody can see us now. Surprise. Masks off. Literally masks off. No one here has masks on. Well, Carl Cox has his Carl Cox mask on, but I think he wears that all the time. Yes, how are you guys doing today? Thank you so much for joining me. Where are you guys joining me from?
Well, I'm here in Melbourne, Australia. This is I have a tale of two halves with my life. And half the time, when it comes to the winter in Europe, and then I come to Australia to enjoy the spring, summer, and then once it starts to get a little bit chilly, like it is today, I'm normally back in Europe. So I'm kind of half and half. But since the pandemic, I've basically got myself here to Australia when I was in the midst of a USA tour, and I haven't been able to leave or go anywhere or do anything. So I'm enjoying the winter here.
Yeah. Good. Make the most of it. Make the most of quarantine. Joel, what about yourself? You look like you're in your studio. Oh, I have you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at home. I'm like I built like a little office in my pool house, like outside of my house, so it still feels like I'm going somewhere.
Oh yeah, very smart.
Things. Yeah.
That is indeed.
I'm in Canada. In southern Ontario. Just
Ontario. Yes. Cool. Well, it's such an honor to have both of you guys here on the show today. I think when everyone sees your names on the same bill for a show like this, it's this excited but curious, like, what the fuck? But I think you guys actually have more in common than most people probably realize, and this is going to be a really cool chance for us to show that off. I've also had the pleasure to interview both of you before. Carl, I love reminding you that you were the first person I spoke to the day after Donald Trump was elected, and I thank you once again for talking me through that moment.
I'm still reliving it today. I'm like, what?
I know.
Yeah.
Let's hope we don't have a rerun this year, not to get political. But, and Joel, I came up to the Canadian Broadcasting Company to see you put the final touches on your Cube production, so it's great to see you again, and congratulations on touring that successfully.
Nice, thank you. Sorry, my camera's stuck.
Yeah, I see that it's a little frozen. It's a really great picture of you, though, I have to say.
I'm sure it's very flattering. It's me probably going, what happened?
Yeah, I don't know. Would it be helpful?
I can troubleshoot and talk at the same time.
Oh, okay. I think the good thing is that everyone can hear us, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm good.
I would love to hear the story of how you two met, though. You guys are both legends stemming from different generations of dance music. And how is it that you first crossed paths, and what did you connect on?
Well, I don't know about Joel's story. I'm sure there is one, and from my story as well. I mean, the maddest thing about us, I think, more than anything else, is that we do work really hard, you know, indoors, in studios, make music. You know, we go out, we enjoy our time with our friends and our family and everything else like that. And if we are basically on the same bill playing somewhere, we're always crossing paths, or we're always playing the same time. And the
really?
The only opportunity we get is to kind of like backstage somewhere. We go, hi, how's it going? Yeah, good. It was quick picture, and we're gone. Through music, we've been connected for many, many years, and which is fabulous, you know, because my history of Joel is extensive, and hopefully on the other side for him too. But it's always brilliant to be able to eventually, you know, meet each other and to swap stories and to kind of we see each other as human beings in the end of the day, and that's what we are, you know. If I cut myself in some ways, you know, I'm going to hurt and bleed, you know, so for the sake of job.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the thing is, it's something of which I think now it's been so necessary for us all to connect in some ways based on where we are now, what we can do, and that's why I love this opportunity to speak with Joel as well, and to have this conversation which you put together for us, which is amazing, and to tell our stories of wherever we are, whatever we're doing. But it was amazing where Joel reached out to do this remix of Pomegranate and of his new song with the Neptunes, and I love the song. I mean, it didn't bother me what it's in some way what it sounded like in the sense of what deadmau5 is about. It was just the fact.
Oh, I'm glad you weren't bothered.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
No, it can't wrong. It can't wrong. The thing is about it is a good tune is a good tune. So it didn't have to be a certain sound. It didn't have to be anything. It just had to be something which you made, which you felt, and which you gave. And I felt that in the song. So I was kind of like taken back by, because it wasn't an easy song to remix at all. But it was something of which I felt was I was giving myself to the music, and to be able to work on that track was just brilliant. I mean, as soon as I got the parts, as soon as I knew exactly what I was going to do with it once I got it.
Yeah.
And I think it was a shock for everybody in some ways when that record came out, because literally, I mean, it wasn't an up-tempo tune, it was a tune, it was a down-tempo tune. My music is up-tempo, so I kind of came in and went up-tempo. But what I didn't want to do is change the emphasis of the track itself from beginning to end. So that was my take on it. And normally, if I was going to make a techno track in any way, shape or form, it would have just been the chorus, and the rest of it would have been just drums. But
yeah.
Well,
there's drums. It's got some banging drums.
So this was great. This is the first time that we've been able to connect together musically by what he allowed me to get involved in, and what I was able to give back basically once I've done it, and that was brilliant. I mean, it's a shame that we wasn't able to do that a lot earlier in our lives. But I know Joel did a remix for me, "I Want You Forever," for a track that came out on Perfecto Records, and done an exceptional mix on that. Which
what was that, like 20? 2009.
Ooh, early days.
2000, I think it was like 2009. Yeah.
It's a long time. See, Joel, that's when you was like, I think, maybe 19 years.
Or like 8. Yeah.
I'm going to remix Carl Cox's tune.
Yeah.
But it was done and boom, it was out. And I was like, wow, that's just fantastic, you know?
Was that an official remix, Joel, or was that like an edit that you did?
Sorry?
Was that an official remix? Like, do you guys go back that far?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that happened through Pete Tong, who was like, I've got the job for you, so you like Carl Cox? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, he's got this I Want You, and they're doing remix rounds. And I think it was a very, very small Maidstone camp back in that day. And it's a small village, even outside of London, where basically all of UK electronic music at the time came from. Where Mark Knight and Tool Room and Nick Fanciulli and James Zabiela and all those guys and all their managers and all the labels were all in this village of a population of maybe 1,500 people.
Holy shit! The parties there must have been pretty wild.
Back, so it was like, I think the Kent tribe that threw that little thing together and threw it my way. But that's like one of the fun little weird anomalies I've noticed about electronic music, especially in the UK side of things. It's just that everything just came down to like this little tiny neighborhood south of London.
Amazing.
I don't know, Joel, how that came about, because really,
isn't it weird?
Because Maidstone is really it's not the Detroit of the UK.
Yeah. Exactly. So when in 2008, when I signed, you remember Surge and Johnny Williams and those guys. So I'm at home in Toronto, a little metropolis, and I kind of get these sugar plum dances in my head about what a major label is, and the big swinging labels of electronic music, and they're like, all right, boy, we're gonna sign you up to our label, and you're gonna meet Nick Fanciulli, and so we'll fly you down to London so you can come here. I'm thinking I'm gonna be strolling around somewhere, Brick Lane or some big
very
office
picturesque.
or something. It was a horse farm. It was a back shed at someone's horse farm, and I was like, oh man, I almost feel bad, kind of.
Someone should save these international star DJs.
Like, this is weird. And that's just kind of how it all, like, where it kind of all coalesced into business form, I believe, it was in Maidstone.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Well,
very, very true.
I know you guys also both share a passion for motorsports. Have you guys ever connected on F1?
Again, I think it's just passing ships in the night. I mean, I'm very much involved in motorsports. Over the last 5 or 6 years, I've actually created a Carl Cox Motorsport company, which I basically support quite a few facets of motorsports, sidecar racing, classic motorcycle racing, Ironman TT, Northwest 200, classic motorcycle racing in New Zealand and Phillip Island, and right now I've got some guys racing at Stetson for the British Superbikes team. There's 2 bikes in there from Carl Cox Motorsport, and also V8 supercars here in Australia, which are doing the rounds at the moment up in Darwin and Townsville. And myself, I mean, basically I've been drag racing since I was 16 years old in lots of old piece of shit cars which just used to blow up all the time and off the start line, all that sort of stuff. I keep going back for more. Here's some money, keep going, gearbox, back axle, blah, blah, engine, and shoot me. The thing is, it's got worse because I've got back to the passion for drag racing, which I've now bought a car which basically I bought in the US from, it's called a Pro Mod, and it's in the shape of a 67 fastback Mustang. Ooh. And it's a very, very fast, quick car, which I have driven over there at the time for NHRA races, because actually in NHRA Professional Racing Series, there's a Pro Mods, there's about, I think, 30 cars in there. And I bought one of the fastest cars for the last 2 years in the Pro Mod seasons when it was going on, and I brought it over here to Australia to race.
Damn.
And I have a big trailer, crew, everything. Been testing the car. The fastest I've been in it so far on a quarter mile is 6.1 seconds at 234 mile an hour. So I think I have. Hang on, I'll come back.
Fastback?
Yeah, well, I'll come back to you.
He's gonna bring the car.
We need to talk because I actually just bought a '67 Fastback
Oh,
about a
shit.
year ago, and I have no idea what to do with it yet. Now I know.
So I've ended up with this title.
Yo, very, very cheers, very cheers.
What's your top?
So it's speed wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this car has run a 5.4 second pass. This was in Las Vegas at 272 mile an hour. So there's plenty in the car. The fastest I've been so far is 6.1 at 234 mile an hour with 70% throttle. So I've got to grow some more balls and push a bit harder.
You guys should organize a drag race. When quarantine is over, can we get a Carl Cox versus deadmau5 drag race?
I would love that. I mean, you know,
I was just saying, I bought a '67 Fastback. I have one.
Oh, yes.
It's like it's not 2 years old, but I've had it for 2 years. But it's stuck. It's just sitting there, and I'm waiting to find out what to do with it. So now I think you might know.
Don't sell it is one thing.
No, the guy who sold it, I was like, all right.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
Well, I'm glad to create this bond between you two. You guys can DM later and get all your deets. But I want to take it back to the music a little bit. And Joel, I want to ask you about how the Pomegranate track came together. I mean, you got the Neptunes back together from a 13-year hiatus, as far as I could tell.
I don't think that was my doing.
I don't know.
No. I mean, Chad and Pharrell had that coming. I think. Well, the song itself, not known to a lot of people, is actually like maybe 5 or 6 years old.
Oh wow, yeah.
I produced it a long time ago, but it wasn't nearly as polished or anything. And then what I do is like I tend to write a lot of ideas in an amount of time, and then just kind of throw them all in a folder, and then kind of just forget about it, and go back to it some years later if I'm stuck on something or just need something to do.
Sounds like classic producer behavior.
yeah, your little scrap bin of snippets. And I remember hearing some stuff about Chad and Pharrell are gonna get back together, and they asked about you and this.
Oh, nice.
Like, oh, okay, so cool, but what do I have? And then I went through the bin and then just kind of found that and then sent that over to Chad. And that's kind of where it kicked off there.
Nice.
But yeah, it was originally entitled Rupert.
Rupert.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of
course.
I'm not one for names, but I remember naming the file that and then just shoving it in there and then thinking like, man, what can I even do with this? Because like I don't sing, and it feels like it needs some of that.
Have you tried?
No. Well, yeah, sure, of course I've experimented with that and just realized that I need to stay in my lane and sit behind the desk as opposed to be in the ISO booth. Yeah.
Well, Kanye's not a very good singer, and it doesn't stop him. So dare to dream.
You said it.
How was it working with Chad and Pharrell? I mean, the Neptunes are iconic hip-hop producers.
Honestly, no different than I find working with Carl or something. It's so nice to work with people on projects where it's like you can deliver things or kind of send out kind of marching orders, so to speak, non-creative direction to people that just do what they do. Where it's not like me and Carl like working on a remix, or like even from the one from 2009 to the recent kind of swap that we did with Pomegranate. It's not like we have to go and sit in the same room and go, okay, well, you put this kick drum here, I'll put this kick drum here, and I'll put this kick drum here, and then you put, or whatever. How with this collaborative thing where I guess a lot of people would envision these two artists like being there during the whole process. It's like Pharrell is a really amazing lyricist and singer. So I have no advice or suggestions. And Chad is a technical genius on the keys and music and all that stuff. So I, again, have no input, or there's no collaborative thing, but my talents lay in engineering and composition of that sound and rounding out a sound and recording and stuff like that. So I think they recognize that and could know that whatever we give him, he's going to, polish up and then do his thing. So there's it's a 3-tier approach in that respect, which was really cool to just go into a studio and not sit there and go, so guys, what do you want to do? And then have 30 yes men behind us going, shit's fire, that shit's fire, that shit's fire. Because I've seen it a million times in a million studios with a million artists, and it's just work. Why did we even rent a studio today?
Carl, you're shaking your head emphatically. You've also seen the Yes Men?
You can see the nail on the head. It's like, there's a nail, and there's a bam. It's so true. I mean, do you know what I loved about this track as well, though? It was so unexpected. I think it sidelined so many people, and I just love that, because I think people they heard the record was coming, so people was expecting the deadmau5 sound or whatever they were.
They start thinking about what they know deadmau5 to do, Pharrell hooks, try to put them together.
And then when it came out, people was like, oh.
No, it's a great jam. It's a fucking jam.
Like, what's happened? And I said, nothing's happened. What's happened here is that you've been sitting on a record for so long, you just want to release it. And that's what's happened. And it's a good song, actually. It's catchy. It's got a feel-good factor about it. It's just, at the end of the day, it's music, which is released, and there should be no boundaries to it.
Yeah.
And I just love that fact. When I was playing people the original track of the song that I was remixing, they were like, huh? Like, what do you mean? That's the song. Can't you feel it? And they're like, oh yeah, I kind of get it. And I'm like, you guys suck. I'm gonna give you what I think is my soul and my sound to the track by not losing any essence of the original track. And it's my version, my take on it. I just love the idea of that. I mean, if you listen to any of my music on any of my albums or anything, there's breakbeat, there's drum and bass, there's hard techno, there's trance. I try not to genreify myself. I love Latin jazz, I love funk, I love rhythm and blues. I grew up in the Tamla Motown era. I mean, I grew up with songs. I grew up with people who actually sing music and sing songs and musicians. I love musicianship. I just love all of that. I mean, I'm a techno DJ, okay, bang, bang, but at the end of the day, it's horses for courses. I don't go home and listen to techno music. I go home and listen to Tamla Motown and go,
sweet relief. No.
You know who the unsung kings of that are? Ulver. Yeah. Right? Maybe Carl, you remember Ulver? A lot of people probably won't know this, but they were like the blackest of the black Norwegian death metal. And now they're basically a pop group.
Yeah. Fuck off.
But, all very talented and did everything in between, including big orchestral performance and all this stuff. And well respected. I mean, they didn't just say, this black metal thing's not really working. Let's switch gears here.
Let's stop burning
churches. They've had a very long career, but if you've kind of followed them, from their beginnings to where they're at now, you'll just see the diversification in that kind of thing. And those are the kind of artists I feel like other artists enjoy working with. People that can,
switch it up,
metamorph into something different to suit a need in a piece of music or something.
Yeah. I feel like...
I mean, the thing is, a lot of people were kind of shocked by my mix, because it has the elements of, yourself, Pharrell, and Neptunes in the music on something which is a Carl Cox pumping track, but it doesn't kind of fit in anywhere. And also, it got released in the pandemic, so I really didn't know, how it was going to be on the dance floor. I believed it would have been a good track to dance to, listen to, and sing from the rafters. But at the end of the day, it's music's a testament. It should be a testament of time. You should be able to play this record in 10 years and go, there's a mark of a time which open people's minds and ears a little bit. And that's what I like about music. I mean, the thing is, I do this thing called mobile discos. And the thing about mobile disco is that that's how I started. I started playing very well when I was, 14, 15 years old. Top 40 hit records, plus the music I wanted to play in the mobile discos. And that music that I used to play then, nearly 40 years later, I'm playing still today with another guy called Eric Powell from Bush Records. And me and him kind of grew up similarly with this style of music. And we're still rocking the house with this music. It's just because it's timeless at the end of the day. If you think about, Chic, Good Times, for instance. Now, I used to play that record at the mobile disco. But everyone then were going, good times.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then I played it like last week at a mobile disco in front of 10,000 people.
Did everyone sing?
And I'm looking at Eric going, hang on.
It's some of those events, I swear, you can get away with the most craziest stuff that you just cannot with major North American festivals. And that's why I experienced that recently with our friend Nick Fanciulli over in Maidstone, where he's like, hey, yeah, come on down. We've got this like kind of little 200-person club thing over in Maidstone. I'm like, I'm in. I like, I love this like kind of breath of fresh air. And then plus, I honestly just accepted. I don't even care what the fee is. Like, let's hang out, have some drinks, and have some fun. And he's like, yeah, awesome. So, I get up there and we do this thing where it's okay. You do your deadmau5 like half techno, half deadmau5 show thing, and then we'll just do a back-to-back. And when we just kept going because the wine was flowing, and an hour after my stuff, and then Nick hops up, and then we just start going one for one, and then it turned into like a weird thing where it was just like, let's see who has like the oldest track. And it kind of went back to this and that, and then all the way down to Too Bad Mice. It got weird, and it was, and everyone was having such a great time. And I don't think like, it was one of those things where it was like, youredm.com posted up a set list of it, and everyone, kind of cringed at the last, 40, 50 tracks, that was like completely irrelevant at the time, because it was just watching these, I guess, two performers, just really have a go, and then play these like, kind of foundation tracks. Like, we didn't play hot garbage. Like we played, old stuff.
I personally love that. DJ sets can be such a fun, I don't want to use the word educational because that makes it sound kind of like clinical and cold or something. But
gatekeeping the EDMs.
Yeah. But it's cool. And I love when people are DJing and they show me the connection between sounds that I maybe don't necessarily put together in my head, but the selector shows me how those things blend and go together, and it creates a narrative, it creates a story, it's an experience.
Yeah, there's a big historical narrative that you can play with when doing these kind of what I like professionally to call fuck it gig.
Yes.
Or throw and go as
throw and go. Kobe.
Yeah, throw and go gig. So, it's almost like there's a bit of half nostalgia for like maybe, 5% of the crowd that were even,
still out at
capable
clubs
of hearing when that song was made, and kind of taking them through your introspective journey as when those records came out and how they, kind of fit with your playlist. So you're effectively just basically showing someone your
right.
You were about.
Look at all my records, which is what you do, Carl, on your Cabin Fever show. No, you're digging through your crates. You've had quite a few of those.
Yeah, the thing was about it is, I mean, the right of me is my garage.
Garage. Is it full of garage records? I'm sorry.
You could move them to Australia, but
in my garage, there's 150,000 pieces of vinyl in there. And I was sitting here after our first lockdown, and I thought to myself, how can I share the love of this music by what I used to do and what got me here in the first place anyway, was all this vinyl. From 1968 all the way to, I think, 2008, 2009, where eventually the vinyl was coming down by what I was being sent and what I was buying. And it's just sitting there. I mean, I used it as a sound library for samples and that kind of, and ideas and that kind of thing. But they were literally in there. I've been in this house for 14 years.
Wow.
So those records have been in there for 14 years, and kind of look at them and go, oh, there's my history. And on this side of it is my studio, my writing home studio. My other studio is down the road. But in there, some turntables, and they've been stuck in the back room somewhere collecting dust. And I just sat here and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a thing called Cabin Fever because I'm stuck in here. And every show that I'm going to do on Cabin Fever, I'm going to bring the turntables back out and then play all these records in my studio.
I love it.
On vinyl. So every single Cabin Fever show is on vinyl only. So when people over the years have gone, oh, Carl, I've never seen him play vinyl, he can't play vinyl anymore, he doesn't know anything about music and all this sort of stuff. I was like, you know what, you've got stuff, right? I'm going to go down there and mix the 3 records together that don't exist on Shazam, right?
Hell yeah.
And I did that, and the internet blew up. They just couldn't believe it. And I was just like, right, I'm going to do every single show on vinyl from, my heart and soul of my music collection. And go for the history. There's hip-hop, there's house, there's techno, there's hard techno, there's gabba, there's drum and bass, there's everything that I grew up with, what I bought and, spent my money on. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to basically just play it out. So over the last 23 shows, there has been everything in a sense of genre of what I've played so far. And what I couldn't do was just to go, right, well, yeah, I'm stuck here. I want to play some records or tracks from the CDs and just go, okay, this is my latest tune. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I feel obliged to show people why I'm still here after 40 years. Based on the vinyl collection that I have, and basically my first show of me sitting there with a record and explaining what that record is and playing it.
Explaining what a record is, I love that.
This gramophone.
I just stood there. Like,
oh, that's amazing.
Over maybe a 15-year-long career myself of being a producer, I still do not have a single piece of technology out of all this technology I have in my studio that is even able to play one of these black
oh my god, this giant plastic thing.
I don't even have one for listening, and I've been meaning to do it because I still have some old records.
Yeah.
And by old I mean maybe Block Rocket Beats when I used to
nice.
Some Cassius, old. They're just sitting there because I'm like, oof. I did, however, remember. You remember that? That's Incredible. Do you remember that show?
No,
I don't remember.
No.
Learn us.
A show called That's Incredible, and there was a guy that could look at a record and tell you pretty much what it was by
read it
catching
Braille?
the grooves in the light. Yeah,
that's crazy. That is incredible. What the fuck?
That's incredible. I don't know. Maybe it was just some weird.
I mean, you've spent a lot of time on the internet, but
it was pretty cool, and
cool.
Maybe that's how I should acquire this skill.
Yeah, just do that.
What
just
I should do, Joel, is get into my garage with my records and just get them to pick out a random record and go, okay, what's that?
What would be interesting is the rubberneckers at your shows sometimes when you're playing. If you used to use CDJs, the next DJ will come up and he'll kind of
what's that?
Look at the little LCD and just go, what track is that? How did they used to do that back in the day, Carl? Did they catch their head just right?
You know what I used to do though, Joel? I used to add little stickers on, white label stickers, and put them over the record of the label, and then basically write on there "FU" on the
nice.
Oh
This
but
is the fuck you edit.
You couldn't hide the old Ian Pooley records though, because they had that.
No, you have to let that fly.
Celtic Cross, here it comes, buddy. I know that song. It's he's got it an inch out of the sleeve, and everyone's like, "Oh shit!"
Here we go.
That's an old joke for old people.
There's an actual club in San Francisco called 1015 Folsom.
Hey, that's where I am. Not at 1015 Folsom, but in San Francisco. So.
And then we used to go up
looks
to
really clean. Wow, they really cleaned the place up.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, you can't smell it, so no. I'm just kidding.
And all I remember is going into the arena of the dance floor, but the turntables were right there, right on the dance floor. I mean, you would never have that now today, but at that time, that was the vibe and the thing. So literally, people could scratch your records or do anything. I mean, they were quite respectful in the end of the day, but it was like you can't hide from anything.
Oh,
whatever you're doing, whatever you're playing, the people right there. And I actually loved that because that was what was so raw about the early days by what we were doing, because you're in it, you're completely there. And 1015 Folsom was quite intimidating for some DJs and some others not. Because if they would mix badly and everything, they wouldn't get booked again. So
wow, amazing.
It was a testament to who could actually play and who couldn't. But it was that was one of the clubs I remember very, very well. And then I used to go to the Up All Night to finish off my evening.
Oh, nice. Ooh, let's check that out. I want to get to some fan Q&As before this is over, but I also wanted to bring up Testpilot. And Joel, that's your techno alias. You mostly perform live as far as I've seen you. I don't know if you do DJ sets with that as well, but why is Testpilot an important outlet for you?
Well, it's more of an appeasement than an outlet, and not even to fans and stuff, more to promoters, because a lot of times, oh, there goes my camera again.
Yeah.
A lot of times, let me see if I can make a funny face here while I.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times I'm a kind of moody guy, I guess.
No way.
In the sense that, like, you know, I'll get booked at a club and stuff like that, and I'm thinking, well, you know, it's not exactly going to end up on YouTube, so I'll just, you know, play some stuff I like. And you know, I get there, and, you know, contractually obligated to play, you know, records. I mean, that's pretty much it. So. Whether they're your records or someone else's records, they didn't specify. So hey, I'm gonna go in and jam them out and just go deep. And of course, it's some bottle service place because it's just the kind of guy I am apparently. And you know, I just go off, and then, you know, and the promoters are like, bro, you know, like, you're gonna
like,
do the,
hey, are you gonna play the record? Are you gonna play the one? Yeah.
Are you gonna? Yeah. Are you gonna put the mouse head on?
You gonna do the trick? Come on, man, do the trick.
Yeah. Come on, Bart, say the line.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it was basically it. And so I was just like, man, we should probably stop this kind of false advertising thing with the other promoters and stuff like that, and then branch out also to the kind of clubs that, oh man, I don't know, fucking deadmau5 and stuff, and you know, that's all good and great, but it's just not really the club's vibe. But it's my vibe at times, you know what I mean? So it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know, having a few pop hits out and this and that, but then also, you know, kind of being passionate in other areas too, because then it's like, well, where do we place you? So Testpilot was kind of born out of that, where it's just like, okay, look, it's deadmau5 but with the head, you know, without the head, and and then they're like, well, is he gonna play Ghosts and stuff? And I was like, no, it's mostly just his techno DJ stuff, right? So that's kind of where that stemmed from, and I'm just going to continue to do that, and then that kind of removes the confusion between, you know, the stuffy mouse head and the more, you know, kind of upbeat poppy / EDM-y kind of stuff versus the Joel just getting down and dirty with you know, the stuff that he likes.
I love it. I love seeing you get down and dirty.
Yeah, you know what? Me too. And it really took off in the sense that, like, we got bookings pretty quick, and places and unexpected, you know, kind of areas opened up in venues for me to perform at, because it was like, I thought that we just did this for like one show, basically, just to appease one promoter for one thing, and then, you know, I guess it kind of caught on, and they're like, shit, man, dude can play techno.
Yeah.
Let's book him as a techno DJ here and there, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this is cool, you know, because now I've got a day job. Yeah. You know,
I love that story. And now Testpilot, the name makes sense in a different way. You were test piloting this other route. And,
exactly, totally TBA, you know, kind of name at the time. And then they started sending me logos from, you know, the record label. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm that now.
Guess we're doing it. Right, guess we're doing it.
We're going in.
Well, I've got some breaking news for you guys, because I'm totally inspired by what Joel's doing with Testpilot, and you know techno anyway. You know, and need to question that in any way, shape, or form, and to create it, you know, it's your forte. You can do that, stand on your head. But the thing is about it, what's really good is that you're standing by the sound of technology with technology and everything that goes with it. Now, the thing is, I've actually performed live quite a few times in my life, and with a thing called the Carl Cox Concept, which went live. My last album, All the Rose Leads to the Dance Floor, I did actually have a lot of musicians and people around me when I made that album, and I went live. I did about 2 or 3 shows for that here in Australia called Stereo Sonic. But I just found that having a lot of people around me and trying to get everyone together was very difficult, so I didn't continue with the live stuff. But this year, because of the pandemic and everything that's going on with it, and my studios and my bits are everywhere, including, you know, I'm in my kitchen now, and you know, I'm going to go into my studio and start to...
Hell yeah.
I've just basically created a live show, a new one. And
that's awesome.
And we're actually going to go out, well, I'm going to go out, a Mysteryland festival. We were supposed to do that this year. But I've also created a new record label called Awesome Soundwave with another guy called Christopher Coe. And he used to be many years ago called Digital Primate. And he's been a great live electronic artist. And I've created this record label just for electronic artists that can basically go out and perform their music live. And we've done our first show. We've done a few shows already, but we did our first kind of streaming show about 2 months ago through Beatport. Awesome Soundwave electronic lives, and we took over 8 hours with all the artists from all over the world making this music, and some of the artists that I'm signing. But as we've been going along, I've been getting really, really inspired to actually go back out there and do this again live.
Yes.
And so I basically did my first live performance show. It's already created, and it will be streamed in I think 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you'll
end of August, I think.
Yeah, no CD players, no nothing. I'm basically using the Pioneer DJS 1000 as my centerpiece to create the MIDI clock for everything else. And all the music, a lot of the sounds are in that, and then everything else I've just basically bolted together and just to mess with. So, and for me, I'm actually really, I'm so fired up by it.
Yeah.
The music that I'm making and what I'm playing doesn't exist. It's not there. It's just whatever I do with it is what comes out.
It's
and
live.
When I basically did this 1 hour show, just completely live, me on my own, just doing my thing, it's really raw, pumping. It's just, I can't wait for people to hear it because it's not, I always find I find it very difficult to play my own music sometimes.
Is it because you've heard it too many times or what?
Well, I'm so happy to play other people's music all the time. But I think after so many years, now, where things are at the moment, I think it's about time that I actually came out with my music full force from beginning to end on everything. And of course, I really want to work with Joel as Testpilot, someone on the line, and collaborate and work together on the show.
Do
I
it.
think would just be awesome. Just start off with a kick drum, and we'll just take it from there.
Yeah.
I mean, hi-hat patterns, this, that, and the other, shuffles, delays.
Yeah.
Maybe create a bass line, some modular stuff. I'm just mad about it. So I really want Joel to listen to the show, and when it comes out, to see where I am and what I'm doing, what I'm using, and to see where I'm at as well. And if you are interested, Joel, I would really love to in the future. Once we get out there somewhere at some point, at some time, I really, really want to nail that together because I know you worked with Richie Horton and had a good time with him. And, he's a genius anyway in based on what he does. But I think at the end of the day, by what you would like to give to people based on your creativity is the same.
Man, let's reconvene after this show because I also have some technology that I'm working on that is going to make this really internet savvy and really cool. I won't say much about it on the stream, but it's a little project called Oberhasli that I think you'll be really interested in terms of like the presentation of this idea that you have. So.
Fuck yeah. I love it. Collab
we'll
on
get the Maidstone crew together and get them to talk.
Yeah, bring your F1 cars out to the horse race fucking farm, whatever. I can't speak English today, you guys. I'm done. Make some live music. No, that's good. People in the chat were asking about a possible collab, so I'm so excited to see that you guys are going to try to make that happen in the future. Also, Rinzin Music, shout out Rinzin, has a question. How do both of you find writing music in this time? Has lockdown affected your creativity? And Carl, you just kind of talked about how lockdown has affected your creativity in a positive way by opening this world of live music.
I mean, look, I'm just finding as many modules as I can to mess with.
Just like anything.
I'm absolutely loving it. The idea that I've given myself time to be able to go in my studio and just get creative daisy chain with MIDI, the Korg, something, modulator, all sorts of things. And now I'm going in, I'm just like, where's this been all my life? Because I've been going out playing with USB, CD players, tractor, playing all this type of music. And every year that's gone along, I've not been able to make as much music as I would like. I've already made 2 albums already with this live stuff. And it's just incredible. And I've just got the thirst and the hunger for it. I mean, look, I'm over 50. And I still feel like a bloody kid in a candy store, doing what I love.
You've got the energy.
I'm almost 40 and I feel like I'm 80.
It's incredible. I'm trying to be as positive as possible in this pandemic time, because without it, how are we supposed to get there? Mm-hmm. So I'm not stopping at all. I'm like a force of nature when it comes to the music and still getting it out there and still sharing the love of it. But I'm really, really excited about going out there live. I don't really want to play other people's music anymore. I just want to be able to work with my own music and be able to be creative again. Because the rave scene back in the day was all about being creative. There was no formula to what the rave scene music was around. It was just done and it just went out. So that was it. And we need to get back to that again. You just do it and you get out.
Yeah.
And that's
don't overthink it. Don't try to be someone else. Just jam.
Don't follow any fashion. I mean, so if you're following someone's already there before you. So
that's true. That's true. What about you, Joel? What have you been up to? I know you're working on a live stream with, what is it? Maestro?
Yes, they are one of the kind of the abstraction layers that we're using for a system. We're also working closely with a company called Voodoo, who kind of provide the ingest layer for like the actual video technology. So over the course of the last 4 months, basically, I've learned everything there is to know about streaming technology, WebRTC, RTMP, all these protocols that you're using and stuff like that. I've also been taking the time to kind of, I have been doing the opposite of what people would expect. A guy who makes music for a living to do during a lockdown, so to speak, where it's like, oh, well, I guess he's going to be in the studio 24 hours a day creating.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I haven't set foot, not even foot in my studio, which is in my house, in 4 months.
Wow.
Because honestly, I've been so wrapped up in game development, basically, which is
cool.
A broad term. I'm not making a video game. I'm not making Battle Royale or anything like that. But I've been working with real-time engines for the last 2 or 3 years, because they really played an integral role with our live production that we use for the big Cube show and stuff like that. All that stuff is real-time graphics and stuff. So I've been in on that, and then I think there was a point a couple of years ago where it's just basically, I'm playing a modern day at the time video game, and I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, why can't this be a show production tool versus a video game? Because this looks great. It runs at 180 FPS and it's just amazing. And why are people still watching DJs play on Twitter? No offense, Carl. All due respect. Well, why are we watching Netflix? We're watching TV. There's not a lot of immersion here in terms of the only connect between the fan and you is a small vertical window with a chat of emotes and spam and stuff, and there's no real connect to the audience there. So I got thinking, well, why don't I just start developing a video game explorable creative environment where people can come in and we can offer way more kind of activity between a host and several clients and that kind of thing.
That's cool.
But then, of course, we ran into a lot of technical challenges, because it's you cannot have, a virtual concert. There's just, I hate that terminology in the last 3 years. Oh, virtual concert experience. No, because the concert experience, as we all know, is getting there. Mm-hmm. It's the whole day. The actual event only takes place in maybe 45 minutes or something like that between the artist and the fan. But the rest is, getting wasted with your friends, getting lost, and the story that happened out in the bathroom, or whatever, and that's the event. That's the ticket, not the main event. So you're never going to be able to replicate that kind of thing. But I think now with kind of modern day video game technology and the way that you can basically squad up with your friends and then join a server and stuff like that, it meets it halfway in a sense. So I've been working actually with a company called Epic. Yeah. They make video games.
Epic Games.
Some people don't know that. I don't know. Yeah, they're kind of busy right now, but
yeah, taking down Apple. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wow, no emails today. Nice. So we're using a lot of their technology and stuff like that. And I'm also working with another company in Australia called Upsurge Studios, who do like character design, modeling, art stuffs, where it's like I'm not too proficient, but it's been about a 2-year-long project now,
Wow.
and I'm basically virtualizing my concert experience, and then also kind of creating like a white label service for people like Carl, or other DJs and stuff like that that don't know how to develop games or do all these crazy things. So we could say we have this like abstraction layer that includes super, super low latency streaming technology. We're talking 20 milliseconds WebRTC, 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames a second being ingested into a game engine so that you can walk around, you see your big DJ up on the screen and stuff like that. And then also mocap models of them doing all this stuff. So it's a bit of column A, column B, and all this stuff all this technology that we're seeing, because I'm seeing a lot of established artists run to other properties to get to, showcase their art on those properties. And I've done that as well, like where we've done the Fortnite Party Island thing. And I mean, that was really great. Not a big fan of the game, but big fan of the company and a huge fan of their technology. I mean, it's no joke that 300 AAA developers can accomplish in a short amount of time. Yeah. And we're all friends there, so why not put a mouse up there?
I love that you're taking it back to what Carl was saying about playing 10-15 in the middle of the room, and like some people can just touch the records. You're creating a space where everyone comes together digitally and kind of breaking the distance in a new way.
To a degree, not replacing. It's not the future of events. I hate that.
Yeah.
And that's being thrown around in terms of development for the online thing, because
of course
we all have businesses to run, and we have to be modular with that. So there's going to be some direction for the the temporary time being that we're going to have to take things to online spaces. So as you were saying with Maestro and Voodoo and all these things, is so like I've been on a bit of a platform ping pong in the last couple of years, because ever since everyone's basically been at home, streaming companies have gotten a little more weird in the sense of like everybody's kind of jumping ship from here to there, and companies are passing hands all the time. And one thing I've noticed is that everyone's at the mercy of the all-seeing Daddy Bezos or the whatever. You're working under their policies and their DRM, and then Universal Music files to count them to DMCA claims to Twitch, and then the whole Twitch community loses their mind. Like, oh God, we'll never be. And then all the drama picks up, and I was like, you know what? I don't really think I want to be a part of that kind of atmosphere. And especially, this one's more inherited, this one caters more to gamers, and this one's got some music content and stuff like that. Yeah. And of course, people who don't know or just have invested time and energy into those kind of technologies don't know how ridiculously, I hate to say it this way, easy it is to start your own streaming platform. Like if they've all got money, and they have people who can kind of line things up for them, and then you can take white label technology A and technology B, marry them, pay a guy, and then get a good little front end system up. And because ultimately what your expenses are server costs and bandwidth costs, and those for what some streamers make, why are you giving a massive company a wicked huge percentage, like in the grand scheme of things? A big company, you have fans, they'll follow you, they'll you take them and build your own inner community, and don't be why do you need to be the biggest thing on what is known as a discovery platform?
Right.
Nobody goes to Twitch to discover Ninja, or you know what I mean? Like, you guys have hundreds of thousands, and that's same for music and music events. Carl, you don't go and play Tomorrowland because you need to show the Netherlands, hi guys, I'm Carl Cox.
Yeah.
Everybody come see me, and I hope I make some new fans here. No, you're going to play for people who bought their ticket 6 months ago because they knew you were going to be there and they won't want to miss your set. So you have that built-in thing. And I don't mean to gatekeep and stuff like that in terms of stuff, but it's like for people who kind of have these long established careers with fan bases and know what they have, like they have that already, so you don't need a discovery platform. Just pay the damn bills and do it yourself.
I think it's also just really healthy to create alternatives. Like you said, we're all kind of beholden to Daddy Bezos and Papa Zuckerbuck or whatever, but like,
oh fuck
it doesn't...
that. We're not even. I didn't even want to mention the name. Jeez.
Sorry, but it's good. But it's good.
Oh
like,
my god! I hope this isn't on a Facebook-owned property. Is it?
I don't think so.
All right.
No, but it's like there should be alternatives. It shouldn't just be this world where everyone is forced down one hallway. And so thank you for putting yourself and your teams to work on something like that. Leading the way.
Yeah, and that's something I obviously want to have a conversation with later with Carl to kind of show him the whole big picture that I haven't really gone public with, because I think that would be really interesting for you.
Fantastic. I mean, I actually do work with different other streaming platforms and different companies as well that are just starting and burgeoning in their realm based on where we are, what we're doing at the moment. And I really want to be open as much as I possibly can for other people to have opportunities to also benefit by what we're doing and have a platform for that, a stage for it, because I think now is a really good opportunity and a good time for people to see that the grass is greener on other avenues. Based on where we are, and you can rely on them to basically give you the best service, because as you know, with Facebook, it's very difficult sometimes where they just cut you off because they can.
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean,
my passion really went into this project when Mixer just decided, you know what, fuck it, we'll just sell to Facebook overnight. Wow. At a whim, and they can totally do it. And you know what? Honestly, if I was them, I would have done it too. I actually probably would have done it sooner. But stuff like that. It's not your cow. You're buying the milk. You're buying the milk. Buying the milk, and then all of a sudden, the guy that takes the cow says, "You know what? I'm gonna take my cow. And we're gonna go to fucking Toledo. Fuck you. My cow. I'll do what I want. You know what I mean?" And everyone's like, what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's so true, Joel. And at the end of the day, I mean, we have to adapt now our ideals and our energies based on where we are at the moment now. I mean, I would like to say that I want to get back to the dance floor soon. I like to say, it's all going to be fine and we're going to get back to where we are.
Sure.
Everything changes and will change in wherever we lead it. To go.
That will never die. Like I'm kind of operating this on a level that, look, I'm not ignoring this. I'm not saying this is the new norm. Let's take everything on the internet and become more socially distanced than we're already socially distanced.
Yeah.
It's in effect what you're doing. I'm totally ready to go as soon as this shit kind of calms down a huge bit and everything's kind of back to normal, and that's all good and great, and I'm all for it, because we can still have both of these kind of properties exist,
Yeah.
It's just, it should have happened sooner, in my opinion, but it's like sometimes you need a good old plague to fucking put
exactly.
shit done,
The silver lining of the global plague is, we get this cool platform. Killian Biezi wants to know if Oberhasli will be only VR?
No. Actually, I don't know where the VR thing came from. I think it's because I teased out a thing really quick on it, and the engine that I'm using actually has like a VR edit mode that I just quickly ran once just to move my head around the venue and go, holy shit, VR works. And they were like, cool. Yeah, just put that in the demo reel. It will be both.
Cool.
Like a screen space thing and mobile and iOS and, desktop, playable game, like just kind of like Fortnite is, because VR is cool, and it is definitely, an enhancement to any old, Unreal Engine game or something like that if it's done well. But it's, not everybody has one.
Exactly.
Yeah, and here we go with fucking Facebook again, just buying up all the VR headsets, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is happening, man?" You know, they did it with Oculus.
Yeah.
Okay, guess what? Sorry, guys. After 2021, you can only use this on Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah, that
gross.
just happened.
Barf. Boo.
Yeah, stop it. That's another discussion.
Carl, someone was asking, I can't find their name right now, but I know I saw it. Jen Louie, will you continue streaming post-COVID? Have you come around to this digital outreach kind of world? Is it going to be both?
Yeah, I'm continuing. I'm not stopping. I mean, you know, so I'm at the beginning of everything. You know, with all the DJs and artists at the time, they were like, "Well, I'm locked down, so I'm just going to go streaming. I don't care. I'm going to stream out of my toilet. I'm going to stream out of my garage."
Please do.
You know
Dropping hot
just,
shit live.
Get my phone and I'm going to be like streaming. Yeah, hey, what's going on? And then once things started to lighten up a bit, and then half those people went, "We see ya," and left the platform.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. At the end of the day, this is something of where I think it's necessary to be able to have an opportunity, even on this way now of enjoying the music and the artists and our ideas of performance to continue in our lives. You know, I mean, people are like, "Please don't stop. Well, how can I stop sharing?"
Who stops? Who's like, "Oh my God, this is the worst. I'm gonna go under my bed now and just hide."
You know, it's impossible. I mean, I'm up to cabin fever 23. That means I've been doing this for 23 weeks straight.
Nice.
So that's it. I've got 150,000 pieces of records. That means for the rest of my life, I'm going to do every single week. I've got no choice. I do have a choice. I don't have to do it at all. But I really love the fact that I'm able to do it now. I wasn't able to do it before. My internet connection here was rubbish. It sucked. I've had to just be blowing my mind trying to get.
Move to Australia, they said. The internet's good, they said.
It's like, we had to pull teeth just to get a really good.
God.
We've got it now, so I'm able to do streaming, live streaming, able to download files. But all these files are getting heavier now. Where before I used to do like a 2-track mix and
like 1
gigabyte. Now we're sending up
1,700 lines of fucking digital bleep loops. Yeah.
Yeah, and it says it's going to take 1.4 years to upload. I'll be like, oh.
And that's barring that a dredge doesn't come by and clip the only fiber trunk that's actually even going to Australia.
Oh God.
What are you doing? Stop! Because I'm uploading. They need to show yesterday. It's like, so we've had all of this sort of stuff going on. But my studio is perfect now. The lighting, everything that we do there. We're using OBS and it's working really, really, really well. And we got some other ideas by what we want to do, but I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to be able to do what I do and also offer up my services to other platforms as well, green screen wise and that kind of thing, which we're doing already. And it's just getting better and better. So to be honest, I mean, I love the platform. I love the way that Joel's thinking as well and what he's involved in. I've got some other avenues and ideas that I'm working on as well. I love iRacing. I've got a sim.
Oh shit.
Same.
Oh shit.
Same.
I've got a sim.
Yeah. I got a CXT in the basement, bro.
Are you the fastest DJ on the internet too, or maybe not with your connection? I don't know.
I guess I'm the second fastest. My top was 210 in a McLaren P1.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that was in Death Valley though, on road.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
amazing.
That was a big ticket. Yeah.
I have a McLaren, but I've got the baby one. I've got the 570 S.
Oh, no, McLaren starter kit.
Oh, the baby one.
Whoosh! That's cute, Carl. It is. We had a 570 forever. That was my daily. I bumped it up to a 720 though. I had a Senna for like a couple years, and I did, but I had to unload it because I had to buy a big cube.
Right. That's make room.
The things we do for music. The Senna was a beast. But I had to dumb it down to a lesser 720. But still, 720 I think it dominates the P1.
100%, and everyone has said that. At the end of the day,
That's how it felt.
My biggest problem is, Joel, is that I do actually like taking my cars and do track days. And since I've been stuck here in the pandemic, I haven't been able to do that at all. I'm just thinking, what am I going to do? So I did actually some iRacing for V8 Supercars as a celebrity. They had people from all walks of life, and they invited us to go race these iCars, and I had my own car delivery and everything, Carl Cox Motorsports, and it was brilliant. So I got myself in it, and I went to this racetrack called Bathurst here in Australia, which is awesome. I've never been around there before. Never been even in a simulator before, and I had the goggles, and I was really, going in virtual reality, and I was in there, and I'm just like looking around, going, oh my God, I actually felt like I was there. Go through the press and up the ripple strip. I was just like, wow, this is awesome. So I got my taste of it, and I think, and I got back to my house and thinking, I'm really doing this going around. Just buy a sim, and then I can go in a Nürburgring. I can go GT3 racing and all this sort of stuff. I only set it up last week and had a little bit of a taste of it, because you can actually have whatever car you choose to drive. Formula 1.
1v1 me, motorsport, Williams F1 only.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, see, once I got into this, I think I'm never going to make music again. Just going to go iRacing and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
The racing number, and I go right.
Reinvented.
Oh yeah, got a big white beard, white afro, square eyes.
See,
Yeah, I can't wait.
I knew that you guys had more in common than most people probably gave you credit for, and here it is, just running off, talking about sports, VR worlds. I love that you guys are going to have the best meeting after the meeting when we finally call it here. There was Earthy Nub asked, Joel, do you plan on collaborating with Sophie again? Sophie? Can you say?
I don't ever. That's the thing about collaborations, is I never really plan on them. They just happen.
Yeah.
It's kind of a matter of, well, at least now that's not a factor anymore. But a lot of it was just timing. Yeah. Pharrell's got his hands in a lot of pies, man. That guy's, you get that guy, a minute of his time from, one of his other 800 endeavors, is kind of a task in itself.
Yeah.
So, he's a grown-ass adult. Like, he can make his own decisions and make time and stuff like that. But people tour, especially
not anymore.
Exactly, not anymore. But now Sophie couldn't come here. She wanted to.
Yeah.
So there's that. So again, well, kind of going back to my point though, is like, collaborations just happen. They're kind of a then and there in the moment kind of thing. Even if it's a produced thing, it's just like, oh, hey, I got this quick idea, and let's see who bites this email real quick. And then he who is most inspired and wants to get to work on it and that kind of thing gets it. Yeah. So yeah, I don't plan to. I wouldn't not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ever work with any artist. It's just there's a few I wouldn't. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. Well, I'm really excited and hopeful that you guys will get to do all the collabing that you've been kind of talking about today. I am very thankful that you guys were able to come together on this remix, and I'm so thankful that you were able to come together on my show. I really appreciate you guys and your time. Is there anything else that you want to let the world know before we kind of call it? We've been going for about an hour now. And unfortunately, I have other things to do as well. But
is our cat. I mean, for me, it's been brilliant to be able to be here with you guys, and obviously, Joel, it's been a long time coming. It's long overdue, I think, but maybe this is the best time to come together now, because you're very, very busy with you and your ideas. I'm very busy with me and my ideas at the moment. And somewhere on the line we can cross those paths. Even from in this pandemic, we can technically still keep connected, keep doing what we're doing. I'm really I feel very blessed in some ways to be able to still be here doing what I do with the music, but also now with my motorsports side of what I do as well. It is another element to who I am as a person. And not many people know that, because it's always been a hobby of mine to get involved in the motor industry. But I love racing. I always have done. I mean, mean, I'm never going to be a Formula One racer.
I'm just trying to picture you in a BAC mono, actually. And I'm having a very difficult time with that.
Well, yeah, it's a bit difficult. But I do have an aerial atom, which I put in and out of very well.
Nice.
And that thing is an absolute beast because there's nothing protecting you at any moment.
Oh,
It's just...
That's a two-seater, right?
Yeah, two-seater.
Yeah. I got the mono, the BAC mono.
Wow.
It's a single-seater.
Yeah.
Same thing, but it's a Cosworth.
Yeah.
Engine.
Very fast.
Oh my God, the thing's on rails. It's on rails.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I inspire to be a Formula One racer, but I think I'll leave that to Lewis Hamilton, I think.
Yeah, thanks, as kind of Carl was saying, thanks for having us and taking the time and putting us on the internet.
Yeah, well, it's my absolute pleasure to have you guys, and I can't wait to see everything that you are working up. I can't wait to see how these, how do I say it? Uberhassly?
Oh, it's a code name for a
Okay.
It's a breed of goat.
Actually. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Of course. Goat Lord 9000 over here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited about that as well. I can't wait to, and as we get out of here, we're going to play the remix. So everyone hang out. Everyone, thank you for coming. Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you so much.
I'll be in contact.
I'll slide into your Instagram DMs.
Slide in them DMs. All right.
Yeah.
Because that's the only social network they'll still let me on.
You've been banned from everything else.
I've been self-banned from everything else, except for and then I just somehow managed to sneak the credentials to my Instagram account.
Oh wow! I mean, how much trouble can you get in for just pictures, right? I mean, maybe you'll find out.
3, 2, 1.
And banned.
All right.
All right, you guys.
Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great rest of your day, night, morning. We're all in different parts of the world. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you guys, we survived it. We did it. Oh my God, I did not even get to say hello to so many beautiful faces. Val, what's up? Brinson, hello. I love you all. I love everyone. Thank you guys for coming. Of course, well, I already said hello, Runaway tonight. Thank you, Killian Biesi, so much for your questions. Jen Louis, Monsieur Fraser, I love you. Tavagos DG, Dev Zap, thank you for the question. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. You know, if any of you guys don't know much about F1, I only sort of know about F1, but I feel like I just got a master class, and I'm sorry I didn't get to your question about the master class. But thank you so much for coming by. Again, my name is Kat Bine. This is my show, Kat Calls. I will upload this to YouTube pretty soon. If you go over to my YouTube, you will see past episodes that I've done. I just uploaded Elderbrook. I've got Mid. In the coming weeks, I'm going to have Kahlo here on my show on Spin, and over on my channel, twitch.tv/CatBine, I'm going to have Hotel Garuda. I've got some cool stuff coming up, and I do this show every Thursday on my Twitch, occasionally on Saturdays here on Spin. Oh, thanks, Val. Yeah, I recently had my head shaved in the back. I'm gonna add some color to it later. You guys, it's been a great show. I do have to get running though, and on the way out, we're gonna have a dance party, which is Cat Call's tradition, and we're going to jam out to Carl Cox's remix of Pomegranate. deadmau5, the Neptunes. Ah, yes! I love you guys. Fucking Venmo me some money, because I don't really get paid, so... Just kidding. You don't have to do that. I love you. I love you. Enjoy.
It's been so long since we've been away from home.